Oh my God.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth Let's Talk Life podcast with Ben. And today we've got a very popular band for myself, one of my favourite bands, 2 Year Break. And what we'll do is we'll just go around. If you can just introduce yourself and what instrument you play in the band. I won't ask you for any your favourite topics or anything. Just you can go around, say your name and what you play in the band. So we'll start with Charlie.
Okay, I'm sure we'll talk about our favourite topics anyway, because as we've said, we can't stop talking. But yeah, I'm Charlie and I play guitar in the band.
Brill.
Brad?
Oh, me? Oh, yes, I've been waiting for this moment all day. I'm Brad. I'm the lead singer of 2 Year Break, and I absolutely love it.
And I'm George. I play the drums, and a word that I thought of today, I do the dadmin.
Oh, no! No! Delete that.
Yeah, I like that. No, I like that. I'm for that.
Wait, did you even say that you play drums, or did you just say that you do?
No,
I said both.
I do the admin, and that's it.
So that's great. So that's the great one. Also, we've got Dan as well, who plays bass.
Oh yeah,
in the band.
Yes,
Yeah.
get babe.
So
don't worry about him.
Just to start off, how would you describe your music to any new listeners who's listening to the podcast? How would you describe it?
Oh my God.
Who
What a
wants to take this one?
hard question with what's going on with everything we're coming up with at the moment. I'd say we're just a new and exciting alternative rock pop punky type band, really.
Yeah,
Trying to
Suits me.
change we're trying to not change, but take elements from everywhere and not just stick to the same kind of system, basically.
yeah. There's like a melting pot, isn't there? There's like
Yeah,
a melting
just
pot.
Fuse
So we
some
started
stuff in
off.
there.
We started off in the purely in the pop punk world. Sorry, I just had a pizza. Purely in the pop punk world, but then we just, I think we love so much different stuff that we just started throwing it all in. Oh, let's do a little bit of that. Let's do a bit of screaming. Let's do a little bit of metal in there. All right. Why don't we try and rap a little bit? All right. It's just.
We've not
So
done
we're
that
just
yet.
Sorry. So we're just throwing everything at the game and seeing what sticks. It's
Yeah,
fun.
that's what I was going to say. I'd probably say kind of like your EP and Change My Mind were quite punky, pop punky. But then when you did Bit Bright, there was a bit of Brad screaming in it, kind of a minute and a half in. It was a surprising change. But again, like the newest singles you brought out, you kind of implemented them. And I'd say it has got a bit of pop vibe to it, but it's also a bit heavier. So that's how I'd kind of describe you. But kind of who would you compare yourself to? Say if someone was on Spotify now and they wanted someone who would relate to 2 Year Break, what other bands would you say?
I'd go with 4.
Yeah, go on. I think I heard it before, but go on.
Shoot.
I'll go with Enter Shikari, Don Broco, Yumi at 6, and Bring Me the Horizon.
4. Fair.
Yeah.
Actually, let's add lower
5.
than Atlantis in there. Let's go 5. Let's add that one in as well.
There you
I'd
go,
say so. This is post Sell Me Fate, by the way.
I think it's also because them bands have they've got their sound, but they're not afraid to experiment with all different kinds of things, and it
Yeah.
still sounds like them, but you can tell they've done something different.
Yeah.
And that's probably another reason why we're probably quite inspired and feel like we want to sort of say we're a bit like them, because we're kind of trying to do the same thing in whatever our sound is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I couldn't put it better myself.
That's great. So I thought I'd just say how I discovered you. So obviously
Please.
you do a lot on social media, which we're going to in a bit later on, but I was targeted on Facebook. So obviously with the Facebook targeting, so it came up, shout out George for all the social stuff.
Well, actually,
George.
Well,
Right.
it is, and it I think it used to be me, but George is the one that comments a lot more.
Yeah, that's who you see in the comments.
That's what.
George.
Yes, that's who you see in the comments. He loves it.
Well,
So I'll
to be
go on there
fair,
sometimes, and I'll be like, "Oh, Charlie, we should probably reply to someone or something,"
They're all
and
done.
it'll all be done.
They're all done.
And I'll be like, "Well, I'm not gonna say anything
We
now."
can't get a word in edgeways online.
Sorry. But then when we come on a podcast, I can't get a word in. So,
Well, we're
Yeah,
getting
you're
our
right.
own back, mate.
but
So I was thinking of like inspiration. So obviously you've been into music probably all your life, and I'm wondering when you were growing up, what sort of bands were you into, or kind of artists that really stood out for you, and that might have had an influence on your band now too. Yeah, Bray.
Ooh, well,
On Brad.
I think we actually grew up on the same songs, even though technically there's like a couple of school years difference. So I feel a bit jealous that I missed out on like when they were 16, 17 going to the gigs, and I didn't really have any friends that were really into that kind of thing.
Or just friends.
Right, okay. You used to walk past me in school and be like, "Oh, look, there's that kid."
I
on the
tried
bench
to be.
again."
I tried to be your friend, but that's another story.
No.
I think we all know the obvious one. All of us grew up listening to U-Six, right?
Of course.
Blink 182.
Yeah,
Blink
yeah,
182.
yeah.
I never
Fav-
really listened to All Time Low.
Oh, me and George went to see them at
Yeah,
Scala
we
when we
loved
were
that.
16. Insane. I went on stage and everything. Grabbed Alex Gaskarth by the shoulders, had a little squeeze, jumped back on the crowd. He loved it. I didn't confirm that he loved it, but
Maybe he did.
All Time Low were great. Favorite album of all time? American Idiot, Green Day. Brad, what do you reckon? What's your favorite album of all time? I don't know why. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm hosting this now.
No, don't worry about it, honestly.
Favorite album? I don't know, mate. That's the two I don't really know really at the times. I think probably. No, don't know, mate.
It's all right.
I'm none.
It wasn't the question, so
I know it
go on then.
wasn't.
Oh, I'm just sorry. I'm going off piste.
And
Sorry, Ben.
no, don't worry about it. And I'm wondering, as fans, were you Busted fans or McFly fans? Because I was always kind of divided between the two. Which one did you prefer?
No division.
Busted.
No
Busted.
division. Busted.
No.
Busted was my
Busted.
first ever gig. I was 10 years old and I went to the Wembley Arena with my mum in the crowd and I got to watch Busted, and it was the first experience of a live performance I ever had.
Amazing though. Like I remember watching an old video on a skiing trip of me doing air guitar and singing Year 3000 by Busted. I think I was about 17, 18. No, I'm joking. I was 12. No, yeah, amazing. Yeah, no division there. Busted would have won.
My primary school, I think I was in like year 3 or 4, and me, a guy called Andrew and Ryan used to pretend that we were Busted.
Yeah.
We'd sing the songs and stand in the playground and like do the jump guitars thing.
Oh,
you know, they used to do that classic jump.
How iconic.
And then all the other kids would like stand around us and pretend they were the fans. It was really weird.
So Ben, you were torn.
You were No, I was always Busted, but I know
okay,
you prefer McFly. So when they came together, it kind of like you got the groups of who preferred who went before there were the McBusted.
Yeah.
But I was always Busted. I even like the latest album, to be fair. With like
Yeah,
stuff
it's
on
really-
and
it's really good.
halfway there, it was kind of like because they went through the phase, didn't they, where they went to like out of the punk
Yeah.
scene, kind of
Yeah, they had like an indie album. didn't they?
like the softer tone stuff. And then when they brought that back, it was kind of like nostalgic. I was like, yeah, this
That's
is the
it.
one. So
Yeah,
again, I was wondering, obviously, before Brad joined, you were still obviously the band, but I remember you mentioned on the stream with AJ, who's the bassist in Makeout, that you were kind of in a bit of a crossroads. Were you not taking it as serious as you were now with kind of promoting the band? And I'm wondering what kind of spurred you on to take that next step to really push it.
Well, so the story kind of starts with I was the singer, but do you know what? I think I wasn't that committed, and I didn't really look after my body, put a little bit of weight on, and I remember a show, and he'll kill me for saying this online, but I came off stage and I said to my dad, "How was that then?" And he went, "It was an uncomfortable watch." He was like, I think I must have been so out of breath, so tired after 2 songs. And do you know what? I wasn't that great of a singer. I didn't really enjoy it. So I was just ready to I wasn't ready to give up on music, but I was ready to give up on being not the front man, the singer, because I still want to be the front man, but yeah, I'm not, but I want to be. So then, yeah, so I put it forward to the boys, and I think they hesitated because they thought, oh, we've obviously had you at the front of it for ages, and we don't want to change it. We don't know who we're gonna get. Blah blah blah. And then I think we was at Comic-Con, weren't we? And then Brad come
Yep.
up to me and he was like, I heard you don't want to sing anymore. Why is that? And I was like, I told him all the reasons in my drunken state. And then he just said to me, I can sing. And I was like, oh, can you? All right, cool. Give it a go then. He sent me back some demos singing our old songs. And I just turned to the other boys and I just went, he sings them better than me. This is brilliant. So I think what happened was, what was it? We did Change My Mind, and we did a music video, and Hooking's management sort of open conversation with us and said, oh, you guys could take this to the next level. You guys could really push forward and kick on with it. And I don't know at what point we all started to take things a little bit more seriously, but I'd definitely say that was one of the moments for me. I was like, do you know what? We probably could. We've got a good front man now.
Yeah.
He's skinny, he's good looking, and he's
I
got.
wouldn't say that anymore.
Well, we've all got a lockdown gut. That's all right. He's skinny, good looking, got a great voice. So it was like, look, we could actually do this now. So yeah, I think that's probably a moment for me when it kind of got a little bit more serious. And to be honest, we didn't look back.
Yeah.
No.
So
Because I was kind of going to lead a question to, like, obviously when you grow up, people want to be a singer, really, don't they? A lot of people want to be the front man, the like a face of a band. And I was going to ask, has anyone ever wanted to be the singer? So I was searching on YouTube, and then I found just before Brad, because I know you'd mentioned it before, and I'd seen Charlie as the front man. And I was like, well, I can't assist because he's already been it. And I was like, I don't want to bring any bad memories back, if you got kicked out with the front man or.
Well. Now that you say that.
When the band was called something completely different, before I was even in the band, it used to be called like Tower 8.
Tower 8.
Yeah. And I watched them
amongst other things.
I watched them in school play live at a Battle of the Bands. I think they were called something else then.
Brick Feet.
During the Tower 8 saga is when Charlie left for 2 years.
Yeah,
and that's
agreed.
why they're now called 2 Year Break.
Yeah,
we're called 2 Year Break.
We'll let you decide
whether he left or was kicked out. We're not sure. It's never.
No
been
one
confirmed.
said that. No one said that.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't want to bring it up. Touchy subject. So
Ben, just to answer your question, yes, would love to be the front man, but no, I do not want to put in the hard work that comes with maintaining the body and the voice. So I'll leave that to the pro, Brad.
I don't work out at all, mate.
Well, you've got a better metabolism than me. Let's put it that way.
The first section I've got is sort of the writing the songs process, because people who aren't in the band probably don't understand like the stages that it takes to producing a song, because you kind of see sometimes when people release them and it's like an 8-minute video of like they'll write something down on a piece of paper and before you know it they're in the studio. But I was kind of wondering, is it a group effort when you're coming up with lyrics, or is it like a certain people that kind of leads the group?
I think Charlie leads the lyric front. I think recently when we went away for a couple of days, locked down together with tests, just have to put that part in. I realised that Dan the bass man actually does have some good lyrics to offer, and he's always just kept himself quiet. But I think because we were in a room together, and we were there to write music, he was like really loving it. So I think Charlie has mainly and still does mainly focus on being sort of the lyricist, but we all get our edgeways in. He might write stories about my life, which then means I can still relate to it without worrying about, I didn't write that bit, but it doesn't matter because it's still, I can connect with it and stuff. And yeah, I'd say, like I said, now we all sort of do it, but most of the EP was Charlie and a bit of me.
I've been his therapist for years.
I just sit down, tell Charlie my woes, and then
I write it all down, and then Here's a
Yeah.
poem for
I'm
you.
not on my phone ignoring you. I'm writing this. This is good content.
Here's a poem for you.
So like
Also,
from like the lyrics part, how long would it then take to kind of, obviously you got to get like the drums into play and the bass and the guitar. How long would it take to kind of go from jotting some lyrics down to getting it started recording?
So first off, Charlie told me a story once. I think his mate or someone said like, "Well, why does it take you so long to record? It's a 3-minute song. Don't you just rock up, play the song for 3 minutes, and it's done?" No, no, that's not how it works.
You get asked that all the time.
Sometimes the lyrics come first. Sometimes the instrumental comes first. It's
Yeah.
kind of like whatever happens. Most of the time, the instrumentals come first because it's easier to write a melody to something and add lyrics around it than just start writing a bunch of lyrics and then you've got to like try and fit them in and they might not work.
Yeah, I rarely lead with lyrics, to be fair. I rarely lead with lyrics when I'm doing some writing. It
I
is
think
generally, music first.
I
Or
think
a vocal
Passing
melody.
By was actually a vocal melody lyrics
Was it?
first. Yeah, because
I'm learning.
I was sitting in this. I used to work like in between uni. I used to work in this. I used to work as a driver for Next, and I used to just drive back and forward like 5 minutes each way because their warehouse was off site. And I was just singing the "You Don't Really Want This, I Don't Really Need This" thing again and again. And I wasn't in the band at the time, and I was like, "Oh, it's a cool acoustic song. Never use it though. I'm in a metal band." And here we are with that song being now a thing. But yeah, I think it's really hard to explain it unless you do it. But essentially, you write the song away from the studio, or we do at least.
Yeah.
You lay it down
do.
on Logic, make a demo. If you've got a producer like we do, they make the demo sound the bollocks. And then once you're like, yeah, this is sort of sounding how I want it to sound, then you go to the recording studio. And normally, which seems to have happened again in this sort of lockdown scenario, the drums get recorded first. And then you just start like putting the guitars over the top of the demo and then start singing on top of it.
It used to be quite formulaic though, in a sense that you'd always do, when it comes to recording and stuff, you'd always record the drums first, then we lay the bass on, then you do the rhythm guitar, lead guitar, vocals. But now we're kind of doing it a lot more. Let's do a vocal. Let's just get a vocal straight on. Why not? But that's more about the recording process, not really the writing process. But
well, yeah, because we went away to write, and it was mainly to write, but Clint set all of his stuff up, and we made like a little vocal booth, and then we'd just sometimes be like, "Oh, that sounds good. Just get in there, sing it, just sing it down," and then that was it. Whereas like when we used to like book a proper day in the studio, and it's like we're here to record that song, it's sort of we already know what we're doing, so there's a structure to it, but we've got a bit more of a loose structure with what's happened with lockdown and how we've been doing it.
And also that has changed our lockdowns very much. I mean, it's changed everyone's writing techniques, hasn't it? But I mean, do you know what? We used to write a lot of stuff in the studio, not on our computers.
Like in the rehearsal rooms.
In the rehearsal room, sorry, yeah. So, but now now we just write in the box, write on Logic or just something like that with programmed drums, MIDI keyboard, play the guitar in, sing something. And to be honest, I love doing it that way because I feel like I've got more control over it. And where you might spend a 4-hour session in the rehearsal room writing a song together, it gives someone who's got an idea in their head the potential to go away, explore that option themselves, see what they can get out of it, then send it to everyone else as a more clear picture that they've got from their head onto the computer. Here you go, have a listen. I think it's worked really well. I think it's really helped us create much more interesting songs than before. When you'd go into the rehearsal room, right, you're literally limited to your guitar, whatever comes off the top of your head vocally, drums and a bass. Do you know what I mean? So I think actually there's probably a lot more control actually writing music, ironically, in a lockdown situation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's great. So then I was thinking of steps by process. Then you've got obviously the release and the song. I'm wondering kind of, do you get any nerves or kind of excitement when you're going to release a song, or is there a specific song that you've released where you've been a bit nervous, if there's a bit of a change to to your sound. I wonder how you feel about that.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah.
I think. First song I was proper nervous about releasing was obviously, I think you can all guess it, Bit Bright, because it's different.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah.
are people gonna? Like, if just from this is my personal
Yeah.
experience. I was like, what if people were like, oh, why is he screaming? Or oh, they've changed a bit and stuff like that. I got really nervous about that. But in terms of like the excitement and stuff, I think, yeah, there's every Friday morning that there's a release, we all wake up and we're like, oh my god, what are people going to think? And you get all excited.
It don't start there though, does it? It starts the Thursday night before.
Yeah, because we always we always wait up till midnight, and then we're like, our song's online, and we listen to it, and we just like seeing if anyone's awake or in another country, because there's always a guy,
Nick.
Yeah, that's from Australia.
Yeah.
And he always comments at like 4 p.m, 5 p.m, and like says like, oh, the song sounds nuts on a Thursday, and we're like,
Yeah.
it's not even out yet in England, but that's like,
Do
he's a good one, because he always.
Do you get that? Yeah, no, he is a good one. Sorry, go on, carry on.
No,
sorry.
what do I get?
Do you get that sweaty hand feeling? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I just get
No.
I get tingly. So like when I'm working and
God.
stuff, let's just say I was doing a 9 to 5 job and it's 4:30 and I know I've done everything I need to do. That from that half an hour till 5 o'clock, I start to get like ticky almost, and I'm like, I can't sit still, and I want to get up and move and go.
Yeah.
And when we're releasing a song, I think I feel like that through the whole of Thursday and Friday of like, what's going on? What's happening? Who's ready?
How do you feel, George? Do you feel the same sort of way we do? To be honest, because I don't know, we never really. I feel like me and you don't really talk about it.
No, I tell you what, I don't get excited because
Ever.
because I stay up till midnight. Obviously, we all do on a release day, but I stay up till midnight, and then I make sure all the header photos and the biographies are all changed straight away, and then I change all the links, and then in the morning I get up at like 7, and then do all the videos and stuff. So after that, I then get excited to see what people say, though.
So you're probably more nervous. Oh my god, have I missed a banner, or have I missed?
I uploaded the wrong tune.
Yeah,
I freak out about that on Spotify when we upload the song. We upload it like 4 or 5 weeks in advance, and I think every time we do it, I'll put the song in, and then I'll be like, "Is that the right one? Let's put it in again. Let's just triple check. Is that the right one?"
We need like 2 or 3 of us there watching it.
And then I always freak out that on the like Thursday at midnight, I'm gonna listen and it's gonna be like the wrong track or the demo version or something. Like, oh my god! Because they don't let you preview it. They don't let you hear what you sent.
No.
But I think they probably expect you to get it right, don't they?
Tell you what you do right. I think you do really well is the promoting before, like the music, because you have your little like your teasers. Like even now when you're recording your drums, what George is doing, it's kind of like a build up. So then more, it's not just like on Thursday evening, oh, there's a song tonight. It's got like that kind of maybe 2 weeks before with a date, and then you tease it more. And I think like that's gonna attract more people than just a new song in 5 minutes time. So like you say, it's great. Obviously, the reception, I can honestly say I can't imagine you get any really bad reception apart from the one you made the merch with. But you know, that's kind of well, that's a gain for you really anyway. So that's not, you can't take that as a negative. So, but what I was thinking was if we go to like the music videos, because in my opinion, I think kind of the genre of music that we all listen to, I think music videos kind of get less and less around now. I think a lot of it is just, you might get an album released and there's just one music video for like kind of the sample track. And I'm thinking like for you as a band, are you trying to push music videos or are you just kind of doing them as before the album comes out?
So I'm going to take lead on this.
Yeah, you can.
Because what I've always believed, like, when I was younger, I always used to just want to make, like, if I was in a band, I'd be like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have a cool music video? But what I've learned from my job and like people that I talk to and stuff is that with a music video, it means you can market the song after the song's out instead of like just a still image with like an audio moving about being like, check out a new song. when you've got a music video behind the song, you can market that to people. So we always try to make sure that we have a music video for all of our singles, so that when they're out, whether they're being pushed to new fans or retargeted to like fans that have already liked our other stuff, there's some like visual content to like hook someone in other than just a slapstick album photo or whatever of the song. So I think, one, we like doing music videos, obviously, but two, from a marketing perspective, and anyone else that is trying to market their own band, having a music video for your release is like, I don't like, if you don't have, you need one.
Yeah, you need one.
Yeah. Especially like you say with the Facebook targeting, I don't think half the people would have stopped if, obviously, the one I was is All I Want. So that was kind of the one that just pops straight away on your screen. Whereas, like you said, it was a visual of just kind of bounced up and down. 50% of people probably just keep scrolling, like you say, because it wouldn't catch their attention.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking for your steps of a music video, how do you come up with the idea? Because obviously they're quite varied of kind of what they are, you know, like the Change My Mind has the storyline behind it, but then the kind of the recent ones are a bit more fun and upbeat. So I'm wondering how you process them and go about it.
I think we've become more fun and upbeat.
There's a couple of answers for that.
Because the planning that went behind the first 3 or 4, the first ones anyway.
Mainly 2, yeah.
2 or 3, yeah, 3, 2 or 3. Who cares? The planning that went, it was literally just like, it was over the top, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit too far.
But now I feel a lot more relaxed. I mean, I'm much more relaxed about it because I'll just let Brad get on with it. I'm not really involved. I'll just turn up, do my hair, turn up, play guitar.
So I think a lot of them. So Change My Mind had a story. Dowtight had a story. All I Want was a live video, and Passing By had a sort of small little thing going on. To be honest, a lot of it comes down to what can we achieve and what is like what's possible and what budget are we on.
Yeah.
So, like the 2 recent ones that we've done, obviously we're in lockdown. So, Do You Want to Find Love? We weren't even allowed to be near each other technically. So we didn't want to. When there's so many people that aren't allowed to see each other, we are legally allowed to do music videos because our band is a business, but we didn't want to break the rules and be all together and like jumping about and doing things that like
rub it in people's faces as well.
So that's why that one is like
right.
Mostly you can it's pretty much all individual shots filmed, and then I'm over it. We still had to stick to to the rules of what they were at the time. So that once again we had to kind of try and be individual, but we wanted to make, it's 2021, let's just make something silly, so that because everyone's had a really shit year, let's just do something absolutely random. It doesn't need to make any sense.
No.
I mean, it does kind of make sense, but it's kind of like the whole song's about I'm over it, and like I'm over being like trolled, I'm over what everyone thinks about anything. So in the music video, I want to eat a donut, I'm going to eat a donut. If I want to just start jumping around in a pink hoodie, then I'm going to jump around in a pink hoodie.
Yeah, I didn't want to eat a chili, but
Charlie
I still did it.
Chili,
so, you know, you do what you want, or not what you want.
But in terms of like story, I can guarantee you, like I am very like visual. I can already see the music video before it's done, and then I try to make it look like how I've seen it in my head. And if we had a bigger budget and there wasn't these lockdown restrictions, there'd definitely be more story based, like funny or complex or whatever going on. I've already got one for one of the songs where I really want to hire a dancing, like a choreographed dance.
Oh, really?
Where we're in a theatre.
Excellent. I'm up for
this
that.
is what I've been thinking about. Where we're in a theatre and like it's almost all one take, and there's like these like dance steps involved where I'll join in the dance and then I'll sing the verse and then I'll come back into the dance during the chorus, and then by the end we're all doing a choreographed dance, and it's like in a really cool theatre. That's what I've visualized in my head. There's no story there.
Oh mate, I'll get me tap shoes on. I'm up for that.
But I've got like for the song currently is demo title is March On, but it's for March On.
Got ya.
It looks really cool in my head, but this is where it comes into like budget. How much is a dancing? Like how much is that going to cost to get someone to teach us how to do a dance and what
I'm sure we
dance
know
is it.
people.
I mean, we do know a few people, but all them things come into it. So if that's not affordable, we'll have to work in different ways. So we always have to try and basically make our music videos fun and entertaining, but on budget.
We'll have to get rid of the choreographed dance group and just do it ourselves.
Yeah, but
there's ways around it.
You've got all the ideas, and then you say, "Look, George, how much money have we got? We've got 100 quid. Right, we'll do it. A one shot in the studio, done."
Well, this is what I want. How much?
How much do I need to delete from my idea before it's allowed?
Gets about 1% of it.
Obviously, you mentioned your latest single there. So I do have a prop.
Oh,
do you?
You see, I've got my big inflatable donut.
There you go.
Whoa.
So I ordered that on Amazon, right? And I don't know what the
Lovely.
delivery man thought when I was getting this inflatable donut. And
I can imagine it's like, are you having a party or something? Well, no, because we're in lockdown. Oh, so you just ordered an inflatable.
I've got nowhere to put this donut now, so there's just a donut in my room. So
Well,
I don't know what.
there's a scene that we didn't put in the video, but I poured whipped cream on the donut and George licked it off. So I mean, you're feeling bored on a Sunday night, get some whipped cream on it, mate.
There you go.
Then the Amazon man's suspicions will be all true if I do that, so I'll leave it for a holiday.
Yeah, fair enough.
Again, I've got kind of like the music videos then, we've gone through that. So leading on from there, we've got the crowdfunding, which was obviously a big thing you pushed kind of started in August. And you'd mentioned about the upcoming album. And obviously you've smashed that £10,000 now.
Woo!
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
So I was wondering, did you expect it to be, because it's quite quick really, because when you think about it, it's only February now, has it smashed your expectations of how quick you could reach it?
Yes,
absolutely.
Like when we released it on the Friday or whatever day it was, I think it was a Friday, I was like, oh yeah, we just like
the money.
Yeah, we'll just
Make
get like
£300,
people. Yeah. And then when it I think in like the first couple of days it was $2,000 and I just couldn't really
Mate, it was 2.5 after day one.
And so all our
it's insane.
The hardcore To Your Break fans
were
just like buying everything. And I was like, oh my God, I thought we were only going to make 400 quid. But that's I didn't want I know that we needed $10,000, and to be completely real, we probably need a little more because it's not just the album, you've got to market that album and all that stuff. But I didn't want to put $10,000 down because I was like, everyone's going to read that and be like, oh, shut up, $10,000, get out of here. But because I don't think people realize how much everything costs, which is why we wanted to do that kind of video on the website so that we can at least explain to people like the situation. And I mean, we get a good deal from our producer.
So
but
good.
Over it does cost about $750 to $1,000 a song.
Yeah.
Sometimes more depending on where you're recording and stuff. And if you're making an album, we times that by at least 10. And we did all the figures, and the album on its own will cost about $10,000. But obviously there's lots more that come into that. But I'm just, were we expecting it? No. Are we thrilled and over the moon and thankful? Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
And obviously I can lead this onto a sales pitch. So if anyone wants to pick up a 2 Yeah Brick t-shirt.
Stop
you hiding that in the bottom there.
Thought it was just a regular black t-shirt. And then hold that out.
Oh, there you go. There's another version.
There's a pink one. There's a hoodie. Oh yeah, look. Way.
That's all I had. Although
I know this is. I actually wonder this. I wonder if there must be. But we wear our own merch, and I love it. And it ain't because I'm like, oh look, this is my band's merch. I just like we make the designs that we like, so we like wearing them.
Yeah,
it's comfy as well. I mean, obviously, I literally live in 2 Year Break clobber.
Especially in lockdown.
It was just literally Brad will like go on camera, and I'll be like, "What's going on, Brad? You all right?"
That's what my mum was saying. So obviously I've got literally everything. So she was like, "Why didn't you start it in like your bit bright sunglasses, your snapback, your beanie, your Christmas tree?" I was like, "No way am I introducing myself wearing all that stuff."
Could you imagine all of it? Literally, it'd be
All of
like,
the
oh my
stuff.
god, he's a super fan.
Oh, there they
There's
are.
the sunglasses.
Yeah. Well, Charlie,
Nice.
if we ever crash and burn, you can do what I do because I used to be in an old band and we had loads of spare t-shirts
Yeah.
and I'm like a cartoon character sometimes and I'll just wear the same t-shirt, like get a new one out.
It's like when
every day.
Homer goes through his wardrobe.
Yeah,
he's
it's
got
just the same,
all the
'cause-
white t-shirts.
So if we ever crash and burn, Charlie, you've got a whole wardrobe there that you can just wear all week.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, yeah.
And is it a weird feeling that people are walking around in your merch? That must be quite a nice sense of achievement that people could be walking around in.
Really like that, actually. We had a really nice message
Yeah.
actually from someone in Scotland who said, that they were walking around. I think it was
Aldi, wasn't it? Or Lidl.
Whatever it was,
Yeah.
wearing a 2-year break hoodie, and they said they saw someone else in a 2-year break hoodie. Oh my god, that's incredible!
And yeah, they were like, I felt like I was in like a little fan club, and I was like, I literally, when we saw that, I think we all texted each other like, "How mental is this? This is insane!" Like
So
giggling, giggling about it.
Even there's people like that I don't know around here that I haven't spotted, but other people have spotted them wearing my merch. Like my merch. Oh my god,
Oh,
lead
oh,
singer
God,
syndrome. Here we go.
Oh
Our
my
merch.
God.
I repeat, our merch.
My merch. No, no, that's fine. That's fine. We know where your head's at.
And have you got any new merch lined up that you've got in the works? Maybe I know you teased a hoodie, and I need a hoodie because I didn't get one of the old ones. So
We're sold out as well now.
I
The
saw.
old one.
Is there anything in the works that you think?
I know. When we bring the new hoodie, we'll send you the
Yeah.
hoodie.
We've got a new one.
I
Yeah.
appreciate
got-
You
it.
don't have to
Yes.
pre-order it. Just tell us your size, and we'll send you a hoodie.
I know he's sized.
He
He's
knows.
ordered enough off the shop. I'll just troll back through.
Well, no, hoodies are different because I wear a
True.
I wear a
actually.
large hoodie
That's true.
and a large top, but sometimes I could wear a medium in other things. So,
That's true. Yeah, let us know, Ben, and we'll send you one.
I
but
will
yes,
do.
we are teasing a new hoodie. We personally have no idea what
yeah.
it's going to look like yet, but we've given our basically, it come from the hoodie that I wore in "Do You Want to Find Love," which my lovely partner, which is off camera, made for me, and I can't make them in abundance because it was too you had to dye and wash dye the hoodie, buy the hoodie, spray paint the artwork on it. But I've kind of told him that we want to do something similar that's people are going to wear, because I know that what I wore in that music video, not everyone's going to. They might think it's cool, but it might not be something they want to wear. So we're kind of trying to go for a similar kind of vibe to that hoodie, but something that can relate to everyone and everyone can enjoy wearing it. So hopefully
Yeah,
you'll love it.
Should have it in the next
You're
couple
getting
of
it
days.
anyway, mate. We're sending it to you anyway.
You're
So
having one.
you're having one.
I'll rep it. Don't worry, I'll rep it. And
Appreciate it.
so the process of the merch. So do you suggest ideas to people, or do you come up with the ideas and kind of how does that work? Obviously, coming across the merch.
Yeah. So Make North, run by a guy called Dan. He or Daniel, does he go by? I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
Daniel. Yeah, Daniel.
Well,
Well,
He basically pretty much does all of our logos now, our artwork for our album and our t-shirts.
who's insane. He's so
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, he's really good, and the prices aren't you can't knock it really.
For what he
for the
gives
quality he
you.
does. It's
If you was to look at it, you'd go, I think you'd fall off your chair if he then told you the price after.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But so with the EP for Sell Me Fate, I basically wrote a big long description of what the album's about, what I have in my head of what I want it to look like, and then he another thing that he's great at is he's proper into it. He doesn't just say, okay, cool, sweet, yeah, I'll send something over. He describes what he's feeling and why he's done
Yeah.
this and why he's done that, which is why we just love his work.
Exactly.
And he normally comes back with something like on the money every time. It's like I tell him my vision, and bam, he's got it. So
Yeah.
these hoodies, like this and the flower and everything, we kind of tell him like we want to kind of go for that vibe, and then he makes it. So it's a bit of both. It's like our vision, and then he makes it into a reality, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I was just thinking, like, obviously with merch, you want to get something out that you also like. So you know that the quality has to be great as well. I always feel personally like I kind of think when I'm buying merch, I try to buy merch for a kind of up and coming band, and you know, like I really love the Machine Gun Kelly, you know, pop punk album, but I'd rather spend 40 quid like for you who are doing a crowdfunding than 40 quid on a hoodie for that. And I think as well, obviously, like the bands in kind of pop punk, they're big to the community, but you know, if I said like neck deep to someone in the street to say who's that, or you know, roll.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you, you know, again, when you wear the merch, you can create conversation. People say, who's that hoodie? Who's that hoodie? Who's that t-shirt? So, you know, when you're going around merch and stuff, it's a good thing to promote you as well. But obviously, you need to like the t-shirt because you're going to sell it.
I think that's why we did that silly one with the horrible commenting, because if someone walks past someone and like, Jesus Christ, what's that? And they're like, oh yeah, it's the band See You Break. They put their like mean comment on a t-shirt. Hilarious, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, buy it now.
Yes, buy it now. Wait and get the other merch as well. It'll be on there. And so you've got, with the social media aspect of things, obviously you do a lot of behind the scenes and competitions and stuff. But do you make it a goal to interact with everyone who leaves a comment on the posts just to make them aware of the band? And like you say, do you just hop on and see what's there? How do you kind of go around that?
I mean, the raw in it. We
this
love
is the,
chatting
like
to
this.
our
Everyone
fans.
needs this in their life that's in a band.
Yeah.
Never ignore comments.
A single comment.
Right,
No.
Unless they're bots.
Yeah.
Writing a random silly like, this is lit, please like my page. Yeah, swipe, delete them, go away. But if they're real people that want to engage with your band, the worst thing you can do is ignore it. Now, obviously, when you get loads, sometimes you might miss a few.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's fine. But yeah,
we're only human. But
we've always made sure that we do that because,
yeah,
like
if someone's
Charlie's about to say,
if someone's got the, you know, has been good enough to give you the time of day, you know, I mean, like there's so much out there, and everyone's so busy that like, if someone's given your band the time of day, the least you can do is respond, you know. And to be honest, we enjoy it. Like I love talking to fans all the time. Do you know what I mean? I think it's great. I love it. And like you meet so many different interesting people like that are outside of your immediate bubble. I think that's probably like the big thing for me that I love.
Yes.
Interaction.
Yeah.
That leads on to then obviously post-COVID shows. So obviously when you're doing your shows, you had the one planned before COVID and never got moved again. But I think what works well with building the audience, building the audience in COVID times is when everyone goes to that gig, it's going to be kind of like you'll know more people because you've had that.
Oh, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry.
Oh, no,
At some point in the show, I'm going to cry.
Oh,
It's
no.
going to be absolutely massive, isn't it?
And
I can't wait.
yeah, like you said earlier about like talking to everyone, we also, like the one we did in London last year. Oh my God, it wasn't last year.
No, it's 2019. How good was that, though?
Jesus
Oh, how good was that, though?
That gig in
so many nice people
like,
there.
We didn't just like, oh yeah, yo, we've played our show. See you later. Thanks for coming by. We like to come off stage, have a little like, yeah, we did it. Oh, that went well, whatever. And then we'll come back down and just hang out by the merch stand or have a drink with everyone because I want to get to know the people that like who we are.
Yeah.
And it's much more. I'd love it if like, I don't know, you're just watching a Day to Remember, and then I mean, it's a bit harder when it's like that big scale.
Yeah.
And that's why you have after parties with like special tickets or whatever. But like when you like that, I would love that experience to meet and talk to someone.
Definitely.
And I'd like to pick their brains and find out. So I always like to think that if anyone wants to pick my brains on anything, now's the best time.
Do you know what's funny though? Is like I'm more interested in talking to the people, to people about because like everyone always says, "Oh, like great, great show," or like, "Oh, I really enjoyed the set," blah blah. But I'm more interested in like talking to them about them rather than me. I'd actually rather, do you know what I mean? It's like almost like kind of the reverse to what you'd expect. But
Yeah, so if you come to a show, make sure you ask Charlie about the music, not about how good he was.
no, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you're from, and how do you know do your break, and what are your hobbies and whatnot. And if you want to slip in good show, that's fine.
So obviously you had the one planned, didn't you? And then it moved again.
Yeah.
And kind of, how are you setting about for the end of the year? You're just waiting to find out if anything changes for like restrictions. Are you just going by ear and then kind of promoting it? Because I know it's hard to promote now.
Yeah.
No, that's all right.
I would love to, like, tomorrow wake up and go, right, we're doing this show, we're going to do this one, and we're going to do that one. But it just isn't like realistic. So, which I've had a little battle with over the past, but the best thing for us to do, which sucks a little bit, is to wait. And once we know that we can do stuff and it isn't going to get cancelled or pushed back again and again, we want to just do a few shows in different places of the UK, because I feel we don't want to mess people about. You know what I mean? We want to get involved and see what it's like everywhere else, because we've only ever done London shows. That's why this Manchester show we were so pumped about. Because it was like, we're going to go to Manchester, which, to be like, I actually haven't ever been Manchester. And I was just like, can you imagine just getting in a bus, like a little tour van or whatever, and like going up to Manchester this week to play like a sold out show? That's mental. But it is what it is. But as soon as COVID is gone,
goodbye.
We can guarantee that there'll be shows announced, but it's just not realistic to like plan them until we know that.
We are obviously in the background. We are working on it, but we haven't announced anything yet. So we don't want to mess people about. But can't wait until we actually can confirm that. That'll be so good.
It'll be like you say, and again with the community and stuff, it'll be 10 times what it would have been, last time.
Anyway,
music, and you've built that. You've thrived and not let it kind of beat you. They're not being able to play live shows. You've interacted more. So I think when it comes around, it'll be great. And then again, for anyone listening, and also obviously the fans who are already aware of the music, what should people expect from the new album?
It's just
everything. Expect everything.
Pop punk, metal.
I'm trying to think of something that you shouldn't expect, because that list is probably shorter. Nah. What should they expect other than?
It's just everything, man.
Everything. Just expect something.
There won't be any
country
on there. There won't be.
No, there won't be any country. No,
not yet.
we could do a country song if it was required. We have done a country song in the rehearsal room once. Do you remember?
I do remember. Yeah. I do like country. Not the question, but
right. Next album is country album.
No, so this current album, it's really hard to put into words, but just expect something energetic, heavy, funky, poppy, metal. Just expect everything.
There's
everything.
Expect on one hand, energetic, very heavy in some places, and then daytime Radio 1 pop as well. That's
both.
Something like that. We're just having fun with it.
And potentially some collabs.
Hopefully. Some collabs.
Which can't disclose now, because otherwise it might jinx it and it won't happen.
Yeah.
Potentially expect some collabs.
Yeah, Ollie from Bring Me the Horizon.
Yep, he's in it. Josh is in it from Unit 6.
Yeah, I spoke to him on the phone. He said he can't do it.
Josh, man, why you got to do us like that?
Well, I mean, what a dream collab that'd be.
I know Youngblood is on there as well. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So none of those. But maybe someone.
I have a quick question for you, Ben, because it's just quickly going back to like where are we what gigs are we announcing? Where do you want us to play?
Yeah,
Where
good
would be your ideal location
Well,
for you to get to?
so my closest one would probably be like, I could do Newcastle or Leeds, one of those
Okay.
two, Like,
Yeah.
so I live like half an hour away from Newcastle, so one of those. I was going to do Manchester, so I'd probably even do London if there's a London one, so yeah,
What-
any of those I'd be up for. And
I mean, that's the whole fun of it. When like if you don't live around the area, like we were going to go see
Yeah.
Unit 6 in Manchester, wasn't we? But because it would have just been a
Yeah.
fun, and then they
But
announced
we've done it
Yeah.
before. We've done days out before where we just go and see the
It's,
band.
they're the best ones actually. They're better than the London shows when you live in London.
Yeah.
They're the best ones because you get a hotel. You make a day of it. It's quality. You're all
Yeah.
drinking all day. It's brilliant. Love it.
but
See the
Leeds
sights.
and Newcastle. Got it.
Newcastle's a great night out as well. I haven't been
I've ne-
back since
I've
I was
never been.
21. Oh, it's incredible.
And then we've got so I'll go through why I created the podcast, because it's
Yeah,
kind
please.
of got the backstory to the next
Yeah.
question. So I created to let inspirational people have a platform to speak and to get a new audience. But then again, I wanted to push the mental health side of things. So obviously, Charlie will know I put quite a bit on Facebook with like kind of what I go through and the ways I want to try and reflect on things. So the one thing that reminisced of me was when you did Bit Bright and then started explaining with it, and you obviously got a bit of the funding with it and kind of opened up about some of your kind of battles that people wouldn't have realized if they just watched the music video. So realistically, I was just thinking, is there any advice you've got for anyone who is kind of struggling, like especially in lockdown? It's quite hard right now. Have you got any advice for anyone on to try and keep positive, maybe?
Yeah, Charlie, I think you're good at the off the cuff stuff.
Passing the baton. No, to be honest, do you know what? Actually, 2019 was a really, really shit year, actually, mentally. And I thought this year was, I thought 2020 was going to be horrible. But actually, I've been better than ever. So staying positive, I mean, I definitely think the big thing that helped me was obviously I did CBT therapy. The T is therapy, so that's CB therapy. Don't need to say that. I did
Cognitive behavioural therapy.
therapy. So that I don't exactly. I did that, and I was an absolute wreck at the start of it. And um, when I look back now, I mean, I definitely took everything on board. She, like the woman who was doing the therapy, kind of gave me a lot of advice on like believing in myself, things like that, trying to not speak up, like rather than think, oh, it's going to be a stupid question, or because, and it's all around how we don't have any evidence to support our negative thoughts sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but in my instance, it was like, oh, they're going to think I'm stupid. They're going to think I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, what was the evidence to support any of that? And to be honest, that when you start to challenge your mind, you realize that actually there isn't any evidence, and where you're getting that from it needs to be sort of eradicated. So you start doing exercises and whatnot. And actually, I think, yeah, I think it's been like, if I was to look back this time last year, I've changed so much, even like a little bit beyond that. So in terms of like advice, definitely just open up, talk to people, because people care. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, it really isn't this whole stigma. I mean, where I come from, there isn't really a stigma anymore that like talking to people shows weakness, and I think it actually shows strength. It's the complete opposite. It shows strength. To actually have the guts and the bottle to go and offload how you're feeling, talk to someone. And you know what? Like, as I say, there's a lot of people out there who honestly care and would rather see you thrive than fall. So I definitely would say talk to people. I get out in the open air as well. Like, don't procrastinate in a stuffy room all day. I'm guilty of it. I know, but get out and have a walk, get that fresh air on board. I think that really can clear the mind and set aside time for yourself. And I think as well, the one thing that's really helped me is I've kept my brain stimulated. I know not everyone has this, but throughout the whole of lockdown, I've been writing music and working towards things. Work towards anything though. If you want to, I don't know, if you want to learn more about the world, do some geography quizzes. If you want to, I don't know, I don't know, but like just work towards something, stimulate your mind, and just and just consciously track the progress that you're making. Because honestly, when you look back, you'll be so impressed with yourself and how much you can actually achieve. I mean, that's just a couple of things that I probably
It's
have.
great.
Yeah, mate,
thought
you've said it
about
well.
You
Think,
have.
don't worry about like
Yeah,
people seem to have a problem, which I've had a problem. Charlie's had a problem with like people get confused with like not confused, but it can be misconstrued about like being confident about something or being up yourself about something. But if you're good at something or you feel like don't not tell anyone because you're worried, like express that you feel good about this or like, oh, I did this and I feel really good about that. I talk to
brilliant.
people about that I'm doing well in Two Break all the time, not to show off. It's because I like to be like, this is me. And I'm really proud of myself. Like,
yeah,
it's much better than sort of being like, oh, if I don't tell anyone, they're probably gonna like. If I tell someone that, they'll probably mug me off or whatever. And if they do mug you off, they're not the right person to talk to and be around. And you need to eradicate them from your life.
exactly. But it's like what you was just saying there in terms of they're probably going to think this or
Yeah,
they're probably
that's
going to
not
say
real.
this, but you've got no evidence to support that they will probably do that unless the guy's a dick and you know that he is.
Well,
But
then
then,
get rid of it.
then
Get
that's
rid of
the
it.
evidence. Yeah, but then exactly. Eradicate them from your life.
And stick with like friends. They're not your enemies. They
Definitely.
might feel like they're your enemy sometimes because they might not get it all the time, and it's just a sort of learning process. That's why in the Bit Bright video, all of the guys start becoming different figures because sometimes you can feel that your friends don't get it either, and they start to make it feel worse. But if you stick with the right people, like Charlie said, they want to listen and they want to help.
Yeah,
Countless of times, Charlie has helped me, and
and vice versa.
yeah, and
George as well.
exactly. So keep with the people that you care about, and they'll care about you as well.
Exactly. Amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, with this podcast, it was something where it takes your mind off things. You know, when you're on a weekend when you can't do anything, if you can get on a camera and speak to someone, it's more productive than me just like sitting in a room. You know, and it's the same. You just gotta find things you enjoy. Like for me, if I feel a bit low or anything, I just put my headphones in. I'll just listen to some music, and I won't have any other distractions. I won't have the TV on as well. I won't be sat in the living room. I'll just zone out to the music. And it's just, you got to write down like the kind of things you enjoy really, because when your mind's in those places, sometimes it thinks of the negatives over the things you actually enjoy. And so I feel like as well, I was pushing on the last podcast, like, don't be afraid to try things. You know, there's nothing wrong with if you try something and it doesn't work out. At least you've tried it. At least you've done it. Because if you don't and you're sat in the house and like Charlie said, when you're stuffed in your room, literally 90% of those thoughts are negative thoughts, and it's not healthy for you. And what I found was kind of when I was going through my things, when you go for walks with, like, say, a parent or someone, you sometimes open up a bit more when you're just chatting. But when you're kind of in your room, you're a bit irritated.
Not thinking
and,
about talking to it.
Yeah. You're like in your room, you think, I can't tell anyone this. When you're out there, it just flows and you're having a conversation. So when I'd read about the Bit Bright stuff and when that was released, I thought it's a good message as well to kind of, I'm wondering, are you trying to build like a positive community, you know, like an open community for the band? And is that something that you're going in the direction for?
Definitely. I think we've always been really open about it, haven't we, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like, I think we've said it before, but I know we can, like, you know, if we get messages, sometimes we might not reply straight away. But if people feel like they can't talk to their friends or their family and they want just a random person they don't know to reply or whatever, there's lots of places out there. But you can also just message the band, and I'm sure me or Charlie or George or someone will reply. And sometimes you need that kind of just random person that you're not attached to. And I like to think that, not in a like up yourself way. I like to think that we're trying to push a positive, like be positive about mental health, and if anyone wants help, we want to help. It's not because we want to feel good about it, it's because we want to know that the people listening to our music and just anyone out there is having a much peaceful, more enjoyable life than letting themselves be pulled down by negative thoughts.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, being positive about mental health is important, because we wouldn't be as strong as we are individually if we didn't have mental health issues that we've been through. Like, it's made me a better person. It might have made me it might have made me react to a friend in a negative way in the short term, but it's definitely made me stronger as a person. So like I'm actually grateful that I've been through that, because it's made me realize what's important in life. You know, all the things that I really cherish and the things that I really value. So actually, I'm grateful for it. And I know it kind of seems a bit cliche, but no,
I think it does. It sounds like it doesn't sound cliche, but it
Do you
does.
know what I mean?
Like when you're in that place, you hate it, and I wouldn't wish it upon
Course.
anyone,
No,
and
you
it's
wouldn't.
horrible to go through.
Yeah,
But once you get out of that place, I'm not saying that you're better than anyone else or whatever, but it's actually to an extent a life lesson that if you deal with it the correct way and hang around with the right people, you can use it as an advantage and not a disadvantage.
yeah. You probably articulated that better than I did, but yeah, essentially.
No,
that.
you made sense. You made sense. It's true.
Yeah.
I always say the highs feel higher when you've hit the lows of the lows.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling of when you've got through something, it's accomplished for you and everyone around you, because they can see the difference. And like I was saying, I was speaking to someone the other day. I was saying, like I don't think life's meant to be easy. You know, it's not an easy ride. You come across stumbling blocks, whether it's work or life or relationships, and it's just a character of, you know, when you've been in that lowest place, you know really how to deal with it better than if it was the first time or if you've ignored it. So that was kind of the thing I was pushing there. But just to go on to the next factor, I'm wondering what everyone's favorite song is by 2 Year Break in the band. Because I'll start with mine. It's not like one that you push the most, but it's Lost My Way. That's
That is actually secretly, I think, a lot of our favourites currently, and what we've got released, favourites to play live.
Yeah.
Maybe, Charlie? I know it's George's, and I know I have a strong connection with it live.
Don't get me wrong. That's not fair, because we've never played Bit Bright, Do You Want to Find Love, or I'm Over It live.
No, I know. That's why I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying in general.
All right. Well, there's 2 points.
Something special about Lost My Way.
Live, yeah, I do love that. Live, nah, I do love All I Want live. I do.
But the real question was, what's your favourite song?
My favourite song. Sorry, that was released, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So what anyone can listen to now if they listen to the podcast, what would you say?
I'm over it.
Mine's Bit Bright, I think.
Yeah, that was my second. I was torn.
I think I'm Over It is my favourite, but it gets beaten by Bit Bright, because slightly relating back to what we were just talking about, I'm super proud of that song.
True.
And it makes me feel things that just, like, I'm so happy that we made it, that we pursued it, and its meaning and its message, and that it come from a funny little joke that's now something bigger than that. And that sort of outweighs, I prefer I'm Over It as a song, but all of them individual components make me feel more connected to Bit Bright.
I completely agree with Brad 100%, which never happens. So, so this is a magic moment. Stick this in the scrapbook.
Like, it is amazing. Like, you can all have a preference. So, like, one song might attach to you at a certain point, you know, of what you were feeling. So like if
Yeah.
you were listening to one song constantly by someone when you were feeling low, then when you hear it again, it kind of has a different opinion on it, and it makes you like
Mhm.
maybe enjoy it even more because you've got past that. And I think with yourself, obviously with the songs you released, it's got such a wide range. So depending on what emotion you're feeling, you could have an upbeat, feeling excited. You could have, you know, your
Yeah.
acoustic passing by. It's just such a well-rounded thing where all your emotions can come into play. So that was mine. And obviously for anyone who's not listening, to check out your EP as well. Obviously not just your new stuff, because you've got quite a
Thank
few
you.
tracks on there as well,
Thanks.
which are great.
Yeah.
And
I think I
just
said this in the last podcast
Yeah.
that like I get worried that it's going to get lost in the abyss when we start releasing other music and that. But it was a very well calculated emotional roller coaster of an EP for us.
A great
And-
chapter in life.
And yeah, I hope that people do get to listen to it, because we did put a lot of emotional, technical, and creative
time and energy.
time and energy into that EP.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell though with the lyrics. If you listen to it once, you think that's a good song, but if you listen to it 3 or 4 times, you can kind of attach to how the lyrics are to how you felt before. You know,
Mm.
kind of like some of them where you're acknowledging something that might have been holding you back. You know, and you're kind of taking that leap forward of I'm going to move past this, and you've
Yeah.
finally realized your kind of self-worth. So you know, like the lyrics wise, they can relate to kind of everyone who is listening to that, because we've probably all been through a similar situation.
Yeah, which Charlie basically wrote my memoir of that experience and helped
As-
me turn it into a song, a
like I
bunch
said-
of songs in a nice order, which is why I think people relate to it, because no matter how it happens, you always go through them same kind of emotions, regardless
Yeah.
of what happened in your relationship or life or whatever. You have that kind of like up and down, and then you're good kind of thing. So yeah, you can relate to it just by whatever experience you've had.
But the important thing to note is it always ends on a high. You always move past it. We can move past anything. We're incredible like that.
Amazing. So we're going to come to the last part now. So this is where you're going to have to decide.
No,
on some things.
I'm having so much fun. Go on, go on.
So this will be interesting. So the scenario is, right, you're
Yeah.
going on tour.
Hmm.
So postcode, we're going on tour, and you've got to take. So it's kind of, the thing is, if you had to choose 3. So to start on tour, you've got to choose between your 3 bands that you'd want to take on the tour with you. And it can be like bands that you say, we'll say we can have one that isn't around anymore, you know, like that might have broke up, but you can have 2 that's kind of relevant. So who would you want to tour? Like any guest, any dream guests?
Have we got to like both all together come up with like a ultimate 3?
if you think you can
Yeah.
decide on 3, if not just a couple of names, you know.
Oh.
We'll never agree. We should pick one each. Pick one each and be done with it.
Yeah.
George, go on. Give me what you're thinking, and I'll argue it.
I'm just going to go huge. I'm going to have Blink.
No, we're not having them. No, I'm
Nah.
joking. Could you imagine? No.
All
wrong-
I'm saying,
wrong
right,
answer.
is Ben, when with this tour, obviously there's lots of things to think about.
It's hypothetical. It's
So
hypothetical.
I know it's hypothetical, but I'm trying to picture this whole tour, right? Are we like, so we're on tour with them? Are we sharing the same bus? Are they getting their own tour buses? Are we in
Okay,
hotels?
good
Because what they need
question.
to know is that they should not sleep anywhere near Charlie, because he snores so loud.
Oh look, the
You
short
need
list has
earplugs.
just gone down to 0. No one's interested anymore. So.
I need to know these things, because
Yeah.
you know I can't put like Mark Hoppers through like Charlie snoring. So is he going to be in his separate bus?
So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go through the other couple of categories so you kind of know. So I've got 3 bands, 3 venues, okay, 3 food items, and 3 movies while you're traveling. So for their sake, we'll be on different buses, so they'd have to share. One.
Thank God, because
Well,
I think
can I-
they'll leave.
So yeah,
Can I-
so the bands that you're thinking, who would you go for first? So George said
can I-
Blink. That's for the money though. You think that's a lot of money going to come in with Blink?
loads of money.
I mean, if we're hypothetically
Oh, if we're
allowed,
thinking about
then,
money, then
yeah, Blink,
let's get the
Green Day,
biggest
and
artist.
Romance,
Let's get
then
the
we'll be
biggest.
all sweet.
Yeah, maybe stick Adele on the support.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran. put
Post
him on there.
Malone, get him involved. Maybe Youngblood and MGK. They can do like a. They can just make. They just need to make a band anyway. So
We headlining this tour.
Well, yeah. So I'll give you my three.
Go on.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
going to
go
say
on.
you
Because we're never
going
going to get there.
That'll
So,
speed it up.
so yous will be there. So you're on mine, but I'm not going to say because I'll be stuck up. So
we'll
you're
be in the
there
crowd
anyway.
with you.
We've got. I don't know if you know them though. So Stand Atlantic.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very good.
Yeah.
Very
With
good.
Confidence. Have you heard of With
Very
Confidence?
good.
Absolutely again.
And Rome as well. So that's
Very
mine.
good.
And
Yeah.
another great one.
My that's mine. So
That's a good tour.
That's a good tour, that.
Good tour.
I
I'll
feel
get
like
tickets for that, actually.
our music's probably the outlier on that tour. Not our
Well,
older
well,
stuff.
we're not on it. We're not on the tour.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
we're there
not on it.
enjoying it with Ben. We're in the crowd.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
Oh,
having beers.
sorry.
You've got a separate hotel room because Ben can't stand snoring.
Sorry, I just assumed we were on the bill. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay. See, I feel like we always go for like the big tier bands.
I've got mine.
go on, do it.
Chainsmokers.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
you haven't
yeah,
changed.
yeah.
Can they be like the intro kind of thing to get everyone live?
Oh, they're the after party.
Oh.
Yes.
We've just come off stage. We've just finished. We've done a song with them, obviously, as well, and then we've come off, and then they DJ the night after, and we're out there chatting to all the people.
Yeah, I'll allow that. I'll allow that.
Brad, give us an artist.
yeah.
I'd like to.
Just extend Chainsmokers set. He's got
Yeah,
Chainsmokers.
I'd like to bring back.
Chainsmokers.
I'd like to bring someone back that really upset me and took me
Oh,
by
okay.
surprise. I'd like to do. I would have loved to have played a show with Linkin Park. So
Oh,
yes.
I want
that's
them. I want them
perfect.
on. I want them on my tour.
That's perfect.
Imagine
forgive
like
you for
coming
that.
out and like singing a song with him. Nah.
No,
So
I'll
yeah,
forgive you
I'd
for
like
that.
to.
they're so good.
So
So
that's
I'd
your,
like to add Linkin
three-
Park to that.
your three bands. So we'll go next. So we've got 3 food items. So you can take one of your. So you've only got 3 things to choose to take on the bus with you. So you could realistically take one thing each that you can enjoy for the 7-day tour.
We
So
got
what
to
would you-
eat this every single day for 7 days because this has got to be tactical. If so, because you can't just go, oh, do you know what? I'll have, I don't know, burger and chips or something. You can't have that 7 days running. I would go for a nice. I'd go for a nice bit of fillet steak with some creamy mash,
Every
some
day.
broccoli.
This is
Some
great.
broccoli. That's a well balanced diet, mate.
I'll
And
take
some
that.
and some broccoli. A lovely bit of broccoli.
Okay. Okay.
I'll have that.
Oh my god. Do you know what?
I'll
I
have it as
could
well.
live. I could live off because I'm assuming we were allowed to bring 3. So Charlie, you'd be providing that kind of stuff for all of us, right?
No,
It's not
this is
just for-
mine. You bring
No, 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 no,
yours.
no, no. No, it's free. It's free foods for the tour. So that steak and that would be a meal that we could also enjoy. So
All right, fine.
I'll allow
bring
that.
extra.
That can be our dinner every night.
You know what a dinner.
George, you can do lunch because I'm going to do breakfast.
I'll do
and
lunch,
it,
yeah, no,
and
I'll
it
do
would
lunch.
be every
I know what
day.
you're going to say.
Go on.
Are you going to do the bacon and cheese thing?
Absolutely.
Every day.
Yeah.
Bring some cereal as well, though, just in case.
Sorry,
No,
Brad,
you
free
get a
foods.
bit
Do
heavy.
you want bacon
This
and
is
cheese?
my tour.
Do you want bacon and cheese?
Yeah, absolutely.
Toasties that I make
Yeah,
for
it's
lunch,
so good.
and then maybe we bring cereal.
George,
Yeah,
what are you-
well, look,
I'll
mate,
ta-
look, I'm a busy man. We're having pot noodles.
Right, that's it. Band's over.
Yeah, so we've started with nutritious from Charlie, and we've gone down to
A
bacon and
well-balanced
cheese
diet.
to the pot noodles. So
So some water noodles. No
Mate,
thanks.
don't these bacon and cheese toasties that I make are
Yeah,
out of this
they're
world,
excellent.
mate.
They're
They're
excellent.
amazing.
They're not
They're
quite
terrible for
balanced.
you. Absolutely terrible for you. But
And yeah, they're not quite as balanced as a good bit of steak, some veg, and some creamy mash. And
Oh.
we'll bring a bag of artichokes for Dan. He loves those.
He'll be here all night talking about these. Carry on, Ben.
Sorry, Ben.
So
George-
we've got you've got to bring one drink each. So water's included, so we don't have to say water.
thank God. Okay,
Yeah,
so one drink.
one
each.
thing that you can enjoy every day.
you get water as well, by the way.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
no one picked that.
Well, yeah. We said yeah.
Because Walt was free.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's not, but
let's go for a hazy Jane Brewdog.
Yep, that's a good one. I was going to say Elvis juice though.
oh, well, if you're going to be doing that, we need some variety.
Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna allow you guys. I've said that I'd like Elvis. Like we're in a meeting here. Yeah, we're planning this tour. I would like Elvis juice.
George, think about what you're saying.
Remember that. But for my my ultimate one, I'm gonna bring Fanta.
Yeah. All right. Good.
I'm going to bring. Well, we'll bring some Jack Daniels as well, because Brad, you know you'll want some.
Oh, true.
Perfect. And your last one is 3 movies to watch. So you
Paul Blart Mall Cop.
No, I'm not. I want my own bus.
Get
I'm not.
in.
I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that for a week straight. Do that bit again where he pretends to be a copper.
No, number two, though. Paul Blart number two. Number two.
Number two. No, absolutely not, Ben. This can't be happening. As
Forrest
tour
Gump.
manager. Yes, that's my favourite film of all time.
Yeah, I'm bringing Forrest Gump.
And you've picked it. Excellent. So I can pick my other second. I've got top 3 actually. I've got top 5.
Just one.
No,
Just
you're only
one.
picking one, Charlie. I picked one for you.
No, I know, and I appreciate it, George.
And
if you could,
unfortunately, we're gonna have. He's not gonna change his mind. That is the.
No.
George, if you could pick Goodfellas,
No.
then okay.
Paul Blart.
I don't want to watch that. Okay.
You have to.
You can go sit in Blink's car or something.
Saving Private Ryan. That's my favourite film. That one, Forrest Gump, and Goodfellas, because unfortunately they didn't have any Paul Blart left because it's so popular. So we had to pick up the next best thing.
So we've got Mall Cop
No,
Forrest
they
Gump.
didn't have it.
and Saving Private
It's
Ryan.
there.
They didn't have it.
It's there.
Jurassic Park.
Oh no, that would have been a great way.
that's
Can
a
you
good-
get rid of Oh,
You
get
see,
rid of
I
Mall
would-
Cop.
I would have
Thank you.
allowed, I would have allowed a series of films. So if someone said Harry Potter, I would have allowed all the Harry Potters on.
Oh God.
Oh, I didn't even wait to
We
listen to
didn't-
that. I just wanted
Oh,
more.
we should have said
Ben,
Jurassic
Mall
Park.
Cop.
They're great. Or Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Get Lord of the Rings in there. And that includes Hobbit. We're allowing Hobbit as well.
Ben, did you hear that? Brad knew that he only had 3 movies, and he went, no, because he heard Jurassic Park. Went, no, get rid of, as if to say, Saving Private Ryan. Mall Cop, Paul Blart, Mall Cop. You just
Yes,
basically
sorry.
said Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Sorry,
Better than
sorry,
Saving Private
sorry.
Ryan. Are you mad?
No, but no, hang on, because I think there's 3 Paul Blart Mall Cops.
Oh god.
Oh no. Yeah, there's about 7 Jurassic Parks. Put it on the
No,
list.
no. There's 5.
More than Paul Blart.
I'll tell you what, there ain't any beers left in this little picnic
Oh,
basket.
Well, that's perfect anyway, because we've ended your dream tour.
What a great tour! What a
You'll be
great
watching the
tour.
movies at home.
So we've
No, I
ended
will.
with
I
that.
will force myself to watch Mall Cop if I have to.
It is on Netflix if you want to watch it again.
it's on there.
Yeah,
I ain't got a lifestyle that supports watching that. Sorry.
Carry on.
Anyway, I really appreciate you coming on anyway, guys, taking the time out of your Fridays to come on. And I hope you've enjoyed. I try to make it as,
Man,
not
this has
just
been a
generic.
great
interviews.
Friday
I hope
night.
you've-
It's good, man.
Thank you for having
you've
us.
enjoyed it. So what I'll do is I'll end the recording here. So like I say, anyone who hasn't, check out 2 Year Break, as we've plugged the merch, plenty of merch on the store. New album coming up, which you're in the process of making. So yeah. So thanks for listening.